On this channel, we have a never-ending mission to find the most awesome tech deals, best value devices. It just makes us very happy when we find a device that over-exceeds what we paid and what we expected from performance. And we've seen some really awesome stuff from like OnePlus and Xiaomi and other really great devices that over-exceed what we expected from the price point. But in 2018, there was one gaming laptop that came out from Walmart. Walmart launched this gaming laptop brand called Overpowered, and the price compared to what they were offering on the device and the specs, it was just unbelievable. And I missed my opportunity on that one. So I said if they ever had something, a new version of the Overpowered, I would absolutely jump on it at whatever lowest price point I could get. So that past year, 2019, at the end of the year, this new brand came out from Walmart. I guess it's a spiritual successor to Overpowered. It's fundamentally the same thing. It's called Evoo. So this Evoo brand came out from Walmart out of nowhere, and after a few months, the price, just like Overpowered, completely bottomed out. And around prior to Black Friday, I purchased this laptop from Walmart.com for about $600. It was pretty darn cheap. And this is the Evoo gaming laptop. It's a 15-inch gaming laptop that offers some crazy specs for what I paid for it. So we're going to review this laptop right now. We're going to see if it's good. I'm Alex for Simotech. Let's jump into it. So whenever you talk about these value deals and how we analyze it, we have to jump into the specs right away for you to fully grasp why I'm enthused about it and why a lot of the internet and Slick Deals was. And that is because this laptop has a Core i7 9th generation processor, very new processor, good performing processor. It's had very good reviews, and it has 16 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes SSD. So those are pretty good stuff for a sub $1,000 laptop. Anytime you have 16 gigabytes of RAM already without having to do anything on it for $600 something, that is really insanely good. Those specs alone are great, but what makes this laptop even more mind-blowing is that in this price point, the $500 to $600 range, you'll never see this particular card in this price range. Most laptops in this price range has maybe like a Radeon RX 570 or something like that. We have a GTX 1650 on this laptop for this price point. So hypothetically, if you're looking for a competitor who offers something in this price point, you have something like the Acer Nitro 5, which gives you a RX 560X card, which is a very serviceable card. But when you are looking for something that really blows you out of the mind, 1650 GTX card, compared to that, I'd rather get the 1650, honestly, and the performance should back that up. Of course, we know specs don't really mean everything. Performance, while affected by the specs, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a pleasant experience to use. Now, before we get into performance, one very important thing about a gaming laptop, or any laptop in general now, is media consumption. Media consumption has dominated all our devices, and it's very important you have a good screen. This is a 15-inch laptop, meaning our display is decent sized for a gaming laptop, and it's a full HD display. It's an IPS display, and it has something that I really like, which is 144 hertz refresh rate. You don't necessarily always get this, especially in this price point. There are certain viewing angles that I particularly didn't like, especially if you have overhead lighting on it. I noticed playing some particular games with darker environments. It was kind of hard for me with overhead lights playing this game in certain angles, whereas I did not have that necessary problem with a glossy display. That was just something I noticed here. The 144 hertz refresh rate is also a plus. For a lot of true gamers, that is very important. So having that option available here, just natively, it's not even an upgrade or anything you need to do. It is exactly what this model has. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, audio is also very important for gamers. Most of us wear headphones while we're playing, but casual gamers like me, I don't wear headphones anymore when I'm gaming, especially since I don't competitively game or anything. I don't play anything serious. I do like just letting it roll in the background and listening to the audio if I want to hear it. And the speakers on here, they're powered by this THX spatial audio system, and that is not that great, even though there is software preloaded onto this laptop for you to equalize and adjust what you would like what you like the audios to emit. the quality of the audio, no matter how you tinker with the software, it's not that great. It's bottom firing to the sides of the laptop, facing downwards. It sounds very distant, not a lot of bass on it, no matter how you adjust it. It just doesn't sound very good. So in terms of gaming performance, I haven't played anything, at least in my gaming library. Once again, I don't have an expansive gaming library, but I haven't had anything that's really throttled this laptop. Even when the fan kicked on and just kept blowing on, and the laptop was getting really hot, nothing really throttled. Gaming performance withstood it, and it was very fluid throughout. I didn't have any stuttering, any issues. I did have some of that in a RX 580 PC that I built, but this particular one doesn't have that. So I do think that the graphics card, in combination with all the components here, can last for a pretty decent gaming experience if it's around the same type of graphical hindrance that something like Grand Theft Auto 5 would present, or like Skyrim or Fallout 4. Those are games that I play a lot. And performance doesn't... The only necessary thing I've noticed playing not even high-intensive graphical games is that the fan kicks on very early, extremely early. I mean, all gaming laptop fans are decent noise. It's like, okay, it's unavoidable. You got to cool the laptop. This one, to me, sounds louder than what I would have expected. Like, the laptop makes a lot of noise the minute you turn on a game. The minute you have Steam on, the fan turns on. It's pretty loud. It's very noticeable. And that factored in with the low quality speakers and the audio emitted from the speakers. Sometimes I was actually having a hard time without headphones. You can't hear some of the dialogue going on in your particular game because the fan was just so dang noisy. So let's talk about the keyboard next. This is the RGB keyboard, so you have all that gaming flair with all these lit up colors, and it's a nice looking keyboard from a distance. Typing experience on here, I'm not necessarily a big fan of it. It's a little mushy, it's a little plasticky with the keys, not a lot of travel, but those are things that a lot of other gaming laptops also don't have that is impressive, especially with this price point. So I'm not going to completely dismiss it. It is a very serviceable, usable keyboard. I am not a huge fan of this layout. They did kind of, like, one of the examples is directional keys. I don't really necessarily like how it goes into the numpad. I know that's not a big deal to a lot of people, and there are other laptops with this particular layout. I personally don't like that. I make more mistakes. And like the keyboard, the trackpad is also serviceable. It's not a premium feeling one. It definitely isn't. It won't wow you. It's plasticky. It feels a little cheap. However, it does its job. It's responsive enough. It seems to work fine. I don't really have a lot of complaints other than it doesn't feel too expensive. And it's not supposed to be. I mean, it's $600. Okay, and I'm just going to throw this out there because I always get questions about this when I'm reviewing laptops. What does it run? This runs Windows 10 Home. Not S, not Professional. It just runs Windows 10 Home right out of the box. And I know a lot of you guys are concerned about the brand and the parts they use and the quality of the parts they use. And I think you can research online. There are a lot of people out there actually telling you guys exactly where these parts come from. But the general consensus is that a lot of these parts are from other retailers who are selling it in bulk to cheaper prices to put these things together, or leftover ones from other builders that they sell off. So parts-wise, they're probably not the highest quality parts in here, but you are still getting particular performances from these particular part sets, and that might be worth it to some people on a budget. There also is a webcam on the bottom of the display. I don't necessarily like that placement there, but it is what it is. It's not that great of a webcam as well, but it is there. And finally, I wanted to talk a little bit about the body, the chassis, and just overall feel of this laptop. I am slightly impressed with this laptop in terms of its design. It's pretty light. It doesn't feel too heavy for me, especially for a 15-inch laptop. I was actually expecting it to be a little heavier. What is heavy and bulky and a little difficult to carry around is the charging brick. This charging brick is rather wieldy. And, I understand, once again, this is a gaming laptop, and gaming laptops do have bigger bricks. But this one, I didn't particularly like the shape of it. It sounds ridiculous for me to say stuff like this, but I did have a bit of annoyance. I couldn't put it with my other cable bags. But that also cuts in with the battery, because the battery here is not that great. The battery here is not good at all. The battery life, it does not withstand a day at all. So you don't expect that to, because this is a gaming laptop. But at the same time, even on standby, it drains the battery pretty quickly. So I am not very happy with the battery life, but once again, it is a gaming laptop. It does have certain gaming standards that we have to follow. Most of the time, your gaming laptop is plugged in anyway. I like the trim and finish of this laptop. Even if it's not the highest premium materials, it does feel well built and solid. The bottom does feel a little plasticky. It doesn't feel like a $1,000 laptop, which it isn't, but it does offer basically $1,000 spec-wise. And food for thought, I like Overpowered's logo better than Evoo's logo, and I like Overpowered's name better than Evoo's name. Like, what the heck's an Evoo? Overpowered sounds so badass. Evoo, I don't know. I don't really necessarily like the design of the logo on here, but it is very minimalistic, so it's not too intrusive. Some of like the Acer Nitros, I keep saying that one, or like Alienware, they're just too over the top. This is very discreet. So those of you guys who like that, and those of you guys who do use your gaming laptop at, say, your universities or in a coffee shop, and you're worried about people eyeing it and wanting to steal it, this is very discreet. It just looks like a black laptop with a undistinguishable logo. Nobody's going to know what the heck that logo means. It's not like Apple or Samsung logo. So you don't have to worry about people, eyeing your laptop. Nobody's going to care about this one. And something stupid to note that a lot of gamers buying gaming laptops probably don't care about, but it passes the one-finger test. Just to me, that means that there was some sort of design language to them that made sense to do that, and I do appreciate stuff like that. Ports are abundant. You have plenty of ports here. You have 3 USB-A ports, a USB-C port, you have a headphone jack, you have a mic, you have SD card slot, you have an HDMI port, and an Ethernet port. Those basically everything you need for a gaming laptop. It's all here for you on this thing, and a rather thin body. You see some really bulky laptops out there for gaming. This is very slim. It's not as slim and sexy as something like the Razors. The Razors, my gosh, they do have that design, that MacBook S feel. This doesn't have that, but it is very sleek. I'm pretty happy with this laptop. I have to honestly tell you guys, for that $600 range, to get a gaming laptop that has this particular graphics card, to be able to do what it can do here, I'm pretty happy with it. And, who knows how it'll last. I'll keep you guys updated on my Twitter, so be sure to follow us at SipNoTech on Twitter and also on Instagram, same exact name. And if you guys have any questions about this laptop that I can answer, leave a comment below, and I'll see you guys very soon.
And that's it. Be sure to subscribe here. Hit the bell button so you don't miss any of our videos, and check out our other videos right here. Until next time,